3. You start at number 3 and you sort all the way back around to number 2.
Okay, and fastest time wins.
Fastest time wins,
Most amount of
most
cattle.
amount of cattle in the least amount of time.
Okay.
That's correct.
But this is more than just ranch sorting here. We're giving credit to the athletes that, are making this sport what it is.
That's
Those are
what
the
got me
horses.
involved.
Okay.
That right there is what got me involved. I've been in the cow horse business pretty much my whole life. Come from the cutting horse world. Still very much enjoy the cutting horse world. Got great friends and out there in the NCHA industry, and we adopted a lot of language and a lot of the same way that we track in the NCHA. We track money earned and things like that, because all the emphasis goes on that horse, that athlete, because they're the ones that carry us to those titles. They're the ones that carry us up and down the road, and they're the ones that put money in our pocket or take money out of our pockets. So we want to give all the emphasis to the horse, and the only way that we can properly do that is every time that a horse rides into an event, in an NSCHA event,
Okay.
good, bad, or otherwise, his record is being recorded. It will be archived forever. There's no changing it other than going up. So for example, if Lizzie goes in and she takes her horse to a nice weekend event, she wants to have some fun, and she goes out there and she wins $238 on her horse. When she gets home, those producers will send in those cards, and she will be able to go on the NSCHA website and see her little Doc Hickory horse made $238 that week. And I mean, that's exciting, it's
You're
addicting,
right, yeah.
and we got to give credit to these horses. I mean, we're already seeing true breed significance. You and I talked about the Doc Hickories, the little Lenas, and that being the ultimate cross in the sorting pen, the fast feet, so on and so forth. That's never going to be an issue if this sport dies, and we can't let it die. So what we've got to do is we've got to keep archives of what's doing well in that sorting pen, what's breeding well, what's making the best genetics to best get the job done out there, and that's going to ensure the longevity of the sport.
So, Sarah, in your experience, what are people saying about the association and the fact that it is focused around the horse?
It's unique in and of itself, so it has been a definite adjustment, but people have been very, very excited about it. People have loved it, especially horse show people that have come from other backgrounds such as cutting, ring cow horse, AQHA type people. They love that it is based around the horse, and they love that their earnings are tracked. Those 3 little letters that Rick talked about, those lifetime earnings, that LTE, has really brought people back. And in a horse economy that's struggling, where we've seen a lot of associations kind of go down in memberships, we're just getting started, and we've seen significant growth.
It's very exciting, and I can see why after we spent some time this afternoon together. It all just made sense to me, especially when you relate it to your own horse, and that fact that you can be so proud and track your horse's earnings.
Right.
So, Dave, what are you doing to help? We talked about the importance of the horse, but we also want to get more people involved. So, how are you getting people excited about team sort or branch sorting?
Well, I think it's very important to put on fantastic shows that have rock and roll music, shows that have lots of fun entertainment that goes with the shows. And as long as we keep producing shows that people want to come to and show, hopefully we can create shows that people will want to be at to watch these people show.
Right.
Okay.
Especially the athletes that are riding them and the athletes themselves. Trained hunting dogs. These horses are trained and bred to do it. It is so awesome.
Yeah. So what are the competitors? Are they all ages? Who's coming to the shows?
Everybody. Yeah, it's a great family sport. One of the exciting things about it is it's an affordable family sport. Most cow horse disciplines are very expensive to maintain and to show, and enter fees and things like that. The high price of cattle, that really contributes a lot of that. The way that we use our cattle, the way that we preserve our cattle, we can use less cattle and get a lot more teams, so we don't have to charge the exuberant prices for cattle charges, which makes it more affordable for families to load up and load their horses up and go have a good time. You can take a family and then have a great weekend for a few $100, as opposed to if you went to some of the other cow horse disciplines, it's probably going to cost you a few thousand.
Yeah, that ain't no doubt. Okay, so you're tracking the horses' earnings, and then how are people and horses rewarded at the end? What's the final goal here?
Well, some of it's behind us there. We've got world champion saddles, buckles, crystals, huge prize money. You know,
Okay.
the World Show this year is estimated to be over $250,000, and just to plug Nashville a little bit, the World Show is going to be
You
held here
betcha.
in Nashville, so that's exciting for us. And but to give you just an idea of why I'm so passionate about it, and I'm a contestant, you know, so I look at things as a contestant. You know, Dave's a contestant, Sarah's a contestant, so we look at, you know, what's appealing to us as contestants to come and show the NSCHA. You know, every time we show, we know exactly where we're at. We know what our horses have done. We're creating more value every time we show our horses. You know, a lot of times when you go to these shows, you may not win as much as you spend, but we're creating value in our horse every time those lifetime earnings go up. So we're actually putting together kind of a savings account with our horse.
Okay. So how are you making the playing field even? You know, if I showed up, I certainly wouldn't want to show against you guys. So what's the way that you discern between everybody's abilities?
Well, you know, we have different divisions. You know, we have the open division, the non-pro division, the amateur division, and the junior senior youth division. And when you come to an NSCHA show, you know, one of the things that kind of set us aside, we have a national rating system that's based solely on your money and the money that you earned. So if you decide that you want to show for a couple months and then you want to take a little hiatus and you're not out there competing all the time, you're not going to have to worry about coming back as a higher rating. The only thing that will raise your rating is the dollars earned throughout the year. You get to compete the entire year at the rating you started with. Nobody's going to come and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey,